Miss Mindy on the farm. Today we're in the house with our kitty cat Nala, and she had the cutest baby kittens on April Fool's Day night. So technically they were born April 2nd. Isn't that kitten precious? So we're gonna listen to our story and you guys can watch the kittens. I just told you. See how many you can count. Can you find all 5? We're reading Star Jumper by Frank Ash, and we're on chapter 8 called The Microblaster. The last chapter, he was in school and he liked a girl's hair, so that was interesting. But he has a really cool idea for this microblaster. Chapter 8, The Microblaster. After school, I endured yet another bus ride home with Jonathan. Oh, brother, he was still talking about Thursday night wrestling. This time, I didn't even try to shut him up. I just stared out the window thinking about Zoe Breen and my microblaster. As soon as I got home, I started my search for building materials. I found most of what I needed in the plastic bins under my bed. Here's a picture of all the things that he's going to need to build his microblaster. Does anybody have those things at home? Maybe you could build your own microblaster. You'll need a clothespin, a spool of thread, a cork, a ruler, 2 buttons, a spoon, an old spring, nails, and a key. I scored some more stuff from the attic, but I was still missing a few important items to make a deflector cone to focus on an ion beam. Can I rescue that little baby? What are you doing, Nala? I scored some more stuff from the attic, but I was still missing a few important items to make a deflector cone to focus an ion beam. I was totally stumped until I remembered Dad's workshop in the garage. That's where I'll find what I need, I thought. What I didn't expect to find was my dad. Hi, Alex, he said, looking up from the board he was measuring. Dad's been wanting to build new bookcases for the den since he learned how to read. At least it seems that way. Every once in a while, he actually cuts a few boards and hammers a few nails. But he works such long hours at the office that he never seems to get anywhere. You're home from work early, I said. Uh-huh. He made a mark on the board with his pencil. My oldest patient fired me today. Gee, sorry, Dad, I said. Oh, no, it's not like that, he replied. Not at all. In fact, I'm celebrating. You see, this patient came to me to help him overcome his fear of flying, and last week he got his pilot's license. Oh, that's great, I said. And to myself, I thought, Dad's a real miracle worker when it comes to solving other people's problems. Too bad he can't solve my problem, Jonathan. Dad smiled and switched on his radial arm saw. Can you hold the other end of this board for me, he asked. Sure, said Jonathan, popping out of nowhere. How the little insect got there, I don't know. I should have expected it. He's always butting in between me and Dad. The next thing I knew, the garage was screaming with the sound of Dad's saw, and Jonathan was holding that stupid board. That was fine with me, because just then I spotted a piece of aluminum in Dad's trash barrel. That was the perfect shape and size for my deflector cone. Can I have this? I asked. My dad had his ear protectors on. What? He screamed above the whine of the saw. This! I held up the piece of aluminum and shouted, Can I have it? Sure, he shouted back. You can have anything from that barrel. There's nothing in there but junk. You like my story? Yeah? Junk? Dad may have thought so, but I found everything I needed to complete my security system in that barrel. I went back to my room and got to work. In a mere 20 minutes, my microblaster was ready to test. Yet another record of engineering excellence and speed. The microblaster looked more like something you'd toss a salad with than a high-tech security device. Here's a picture of his microblaster. Cool, huh? So he's going to shoot that at the aliens, and they're going to shrink down. But I didn't care what it looked like. I just had to do the job, and it had to be handy in case of an emergency. That meant making a holster for it. First, I tried customizing one of Dad's old toy 6-shooter sets that I found in the attic. That looked cool, but the blaster kept falling out, so I started scrounging around for other materials. I ended up making a holster from a bent coat hanger, a few pieces of cardboard, and lots of duct tape. Voila! In 10 minutes, it was done. I couldn't wait to try out my latest invention. I thought of taking it down the street and aiming it at a few cars and trucks. If I zapped them to the size of toys, I could take them with me when I go and give them away to aliens as peace offerings. Good idea. Just then, Mom called me from the kitchen. I could tell from the sound of her voice that she was angry, so I took my time going down the stairs. She was angry, all right. "You're behind on your chores, dear." The way she said dear sounded sweet, but I knew her better than that. "You're behind on your chores, dear." She was looking past me at the kitchen trash can, so I knew right away what chore she was talking about. Taking out the garbage. It was part of a new arrangement to teach me some responsibility. Jonathan, of course, doesn't have any chores because Mom and Dad think he's too young. I guess his only responsibility is to make me miserable.
I'm just helping him. He was under his mouth.
Thank you. "No problem, Mom," I said, and took the white plastic garbage bag out of the bin and carried it to the backyard. The trash cans were behind the tool shed, but I didn't see any reason to drag the bag all the way back there. I just set it on the lawn and stepped back a few feet. Then I unholstered my microblaster. I set the power level on low, pointed, and pulled the trigger. For a second or two, nothing seemed to happen. Maybe there's something wrong with my design, I thought. Maybe it was that bent nail I used in the trifibrillator. A thumbtack might have worked better. But the delay was just the time the device needed to build up a charge. Suddenly I felt a warm jolt, and the stock of the blaster buzzed in my hand. Look, maybe we can put one right here.
Yeah.
It was similar to the vibration of an electric toothbrush. Then there was a burst of light like a camera flash was going off. It wasn't
pink feet.
It wasn't anything dramatic like you'd see at the movies, but when I looked up, the trash bag had disappeared. Of course, it just seemed to disappear. It was actually still there, only now it was the size of a grain of rice. Poof! Lost in the grass somewhere.
Wow.
Let's give him a friend to play with. Come here, baby.
No, they'll run away.
Okay. The microblaster was a stunning success. Another major invention to add to my list of astounding achievements. "Holy cow," I heard a cry, and Jonathan jumped out from behind the juniper bushes. His mouth was wide open, and his eyes looked as big as frisbees. That was way cool. I could see why he was impressed. Heck, what Jonathan just witnessed would impress the pants off the best scientists at Harvard and MIT. Even all the government scientists who work on top secret stuff would drool all over their lab coats to get their hands on my microblaster. "Yeah, it would be cool, all right," I said. "But you better not tell anyone about it, especially Mom or Dad." We've got a little kitten trying to nurse here.
Ow!
Here, Nala, turn
You
this
just
way.
scratched me.
Turn that way. Now you see the little babies? Yeah. There's guys sleeping here.
And I have two in my arms right here trying to...
I was about to
Try
put
not
the
to
blaster
mess it
in
up.
its holster when Jonathan came toward me. "Don't worry, I won't tell," he said. "Just let me hold it." Uh-oh.
Oh, no. He's going to
The
shrink
urge to point the blaster at him was irresistible. Why should I be the one to leave this planet, I thought. All I have to do is shrink Jonathan to the size of a small bug, and my problems are over. It was tempting. But I knew it wouldn't work. Somehow Mom and Dad would find out, and I'd only have to bring him back. No way, I said. It's too dangerous for a little kid. Jonathan was holding out his hand. I won't pull the trigger, he promised. Really, I won't.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you go help Dad cut another board? That's no fun. Just let me touch it. Show me how it works. No, I said. Get out of here before I don't recall if Jonathan lunged first and bumped into me or if I just accidentally pulled the trigger. All I remember was the flash and the look of total shock on Jonathan's face the instant before he disappeared. That's the end of the chapter.
Hey, Daddy, look at
Holy moly. Here's a picture of his brother's
Look at the
face
cats.
the minute before he disappeared. I need you to be quiet. Thank you. So what do you guys think he's going to do? Now he's got another problem.
Ow.
He shrank his brother, and he's going to probably need to unshrink him, you think, to bring him back to size? The next chapter.
They tickle. They
I need
tickle.
you to stop, please. The next chapter is titled Godzilla Ant. I wonder who that could be, Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed watching our little kittens and our mama. Her
I
name
did.
is Nala, and she has 5, and they are 1 day old. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Which one's awake? Let's say goodbye with this one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.